And welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything and everything and nothing at the same time. On this week's show, we have some beavers that have broken the internet, a Canadian, what's the word I'm looking for? Canadian politician. There we go. Those probably should have his Zoom call privilege revoked. Another blockbuster Hollywood reboot, because there's not enough of them, and many, many more subjects to come. My name is Mike Fish, and I am joined by Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how are you doing, my friend?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, coming to you in glorious 720p. Mike, my man, welcome back from holiday. How are you doing? It's been a while.
I'm good. I've already lost my 10. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's the lighting in here isn't that great. But no, Aruba was fantastic. All inclusive, 6 days. Can't complain.
Hell
Literally wake up, open the sliding door, walk out on the beach. Pow. Complimentary beverages. It was a life. It was a life. As you can imagine, I'm so glad to be back in New Jersey.
Yeah, I remember leaving the resort in Mexico going just like, I could start promoting luchadors down here. Like this, and the hyphy wifey here is a 5-star chef. Like we would have no problem getting work down here. But we still came back to San Francisco for the worst.
Well, at least you have the weather. You have nice weather there.
It's on and off. It's on and off. Today is a nice day. Yesterday was a nice day, but heading into our Memorial Day weekend, it was looking pretty grim, pretty cloudy, and very cold, which is it's just inconvenient. I don't care what time of year it is.
I mean, that's tradition here in New Jersey. It can be like 90 degrees on Friday, but as soon as you hit Memorial Day weekend, it's like 50 degrees rain without fail. So that was that. Did you get up to anything interesting, exciting, memorable on your Memorial Day weekend?
So I just got my flu, the second part of my vaccine. I got the second Moderna like a week and a half prior. So no, I didn't do anything wild. I went to my cousin's house for the first time in maybe like 2 years. That's a whole separate thing. Obviously, the COVID interviewed and a lot of things, but then there was just like, I was like, oh, I can't hang out here for a minute. So it was good to catch up with some old friends and some family. Got hugs in. Hugs are nice.
Ooh.
And then went. I've been going to the movies since they reopened here in San Francisco. Since I got my first shot, still doing the mask and all that stuff, just because it's good. I saw A Quiet Place Part 2 this weekend. Mike, are you a fan of the first movie at all?
See, when you mentioned you went to that movie, I looked it up and I'm adamant that I did see the first one, but because it has what is his name? Guy from The Office.
Yeah, John Krasinski.
Yeah, it has it, and so and he dies at the end, right? The first one.
Spoiler alert! Yes, he does.
Spoiler alert! Yeah. So okay, so I have seen it, but for some reason I can't. I'm not super familiar with it, but how was the? Oh, I guess firstly, how was the experience at the movie theater? How is it? Because I haven't been to a movie theater since pre-pandemic. Is it getting full up again?
It's definitely getting filled up again. Restrictions are getting eased up. So this was not my first experience back to the theater. The first movie I went to go see was Wrath of Man with Jason Statham. We talked about that actually on the previous Waffle Box, and I had to go all the way downtown for that. Now, like half of my bus routes still aren't open, so this was a very difficult experience for me. But we got down there. The AMC at the Metreon, as of 3 weeks ago, they're doing all the social distancing stuff correctly. So like I had my seat that's automatically blocked off because obviously I paid for it. But then they blocked off 3 seats to the left and then 3 seats to the right. And then just for the fuck of it, the very 3 seats in front of me. Had I been not sitting in the back row, I'm sure they would have blocked off 3 behind me as well. But that's I like to sit in the back row. So that was a very cool experience, and everyone seemed to be cool about like not sitting in a designated area. Everyone seemed to be really good about that.
Nice.
A new theater has opened up just down the street from me. It's literally like a 20-minute walk.
Wait, a new? So they launched a brand new movie theater.
they were building this 12 theaters, Cineplex, Kinoplex, whatever you want to call it, down in this area called Stonestown. It was going to replace a 2-screen theater just across the street, which is now absolutely vacant. But the theater was being built. It was about a year into its construction. The pandemic happened, but the construction continued.
Mhm.
So I couldn't tell you when they were officially completed the project, but they finally got to open 2 weeks ago. So I went down there first night. That was really cool. No one, it was pretty much empty. I went to go see Nobody with
That's a
your.
really good movie. I watched that the other night.
That was really entertaining, and you know what? Again, it's nice, it's short, it's to the point, not an ounce of fat on it. You
Oh,
know,
the plot is extremely thin, but
Mhm.
it was so entertaining because it didn't get convoluted. It was
Mm-mm.
just this is the point of this movie. Now watch him wreak havoc. It was so much fun.
Yeah, man. And that night, it was just me and one other couple, and we were just on like opposite sides of the theater, and everyone was having a good time. A Quiet Place 2, people have been waiting for this movie for like 15 months, man.
Well, right,
This
because it premiered in New York like last March, right?
they had the premiere and the red carpet thing and all that, and then the pandemic happened like 4 days later. So it never actually got its official release. But like it was on the cusp of it. I used to do a show called The Kush Show where I would go over studio junket footage. A Quiet Place Part 2 was my very last episode before the pandemic hit. Ultimately, my last episode ever. And so people were frothing at the mouth for this. People wanted to see this. I didn't, but after all this nonsense and the pandemic that has been mentioned now 6 times, like I was just like, I gotta go see this. Also, I need to review it, but I let's just go see it. If you like the first one, it's more of the same. If you hated it, again, it's more of the same. I attribute it to the Hangover Part 2.
Right. Whereas it's basically the same movie.
It's an identical copy of the same movie, just it's just more time with this family, and that's not a bad thing, but there's nothing new about it. There's nothing special. It actually kind of hurts it. I would really like them to give John Krasinski a different movie. Let's see what he could do in an action genre, maybe, or even a drama.
Well, doesn't he do action on that Amazon show he's on?
Well, but he's the talent on that. I don't know. Maybe he's even a producer, but I don't know how much of the writing and
Oh, I see
any
what you mean.
directing
Okay.
he's doing. He
Gotcha,
did
gotcha,
the
gotcha.
writing and the directing for both of these movies now, so he's 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 got a nice straight line. He's definitely not dipped, but he hasn't gone up. So like he hit it out of the park on that first one. I haven't done anything different since. That's not his fault though. There's contracts and you it's the curse of doing too good. That first movie was a blockbuster, and so it was only natural they were going to make a second one, and there will
How
definitely be a third one.
how was so without reviewing it because I'll leave you to review it on your other podcast. But how was because you're way better with names than I am with actors. The Peaky Blinders guy because he's in this movie, right?
Man, it's hard for that dude to be bad in anything. Cillian Murphy's who you're talking about,
Yes,
and you wish
because
there
he
was
was
more of
even
that
great
dude.
in was it Dark Knight?
Yeah, yeah,
Batman
he was the
Begins. Batman
Scarecrow.
Begins. Batman Begins.
Well, he's in all three of them.
Uh,
He's the Scarecrow. Yeah.
He was a bit part in the others, but he was mainly in Batman Begins, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Again, he kills it, dude, and everything he does, his work with Millicent Simmons, like he enhances her performance. She's she can only do so much, and he works through it with her. Like you feel his frustration because in the previous movie, like she's always having communications through American Sign Language with her dad. The whole family knows ASL because obviously the daughter is deaf.
Mm-hmm.
Cillian Murphy is brand new to this problem. He has just met this girl like 12 hours ago. So she's signing to him and he's just like, I don't know what, like, he wants to yell at her, but also if he does, they're dead. So like, he's just like doing this shit most of the time, but they form a bond
Of
and
course.
they have some adventures and it's good. It's a good movie, man. It's I don't want to understate it, but it is a good movie. Cillian Murphy is great. Juman Hunson His 1.5 scenes are fantastic. For everyone who complains about they gave away everything in the trailer, Jimon Hudson is in that trailer more than he's in this movie.
Isn't he? If I'm thinking of someone else, isn't he in like the Avengers movies? He's like in.
Yeah, he's in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie and in also Captain Marvel.
That he's is it Cruel?
I forget what his name is, but he's that dude he's got a metal socket on his head, and yeah,
he's the guy.
Batista kills him in Guardians of the Galaxy.
He's the guy who's like Star-Lord. Who?
That
yes. Guy.
Yes.
Good times. So would you recommend The Quiet Place 2?
The Quiet Place, yeah, man. Again, if you like the first one, you're gonna love this one. If you didn't, you won't. A lot of people going into this theater or into this event were making a big deal about don't make any noise. You can't buy any popcorn. Fuck all y'all. They serve food. I'm sorry, people are going to eat it. If this bothers you that much, you should stay home. For the couple that brought a baby,
you should be able to eat popcorn at the theater.
People eat. It makes noise. Sorry, like we're not going to be. We shouldn't be any quieter than we would in any other movie. I eat popcorn in other films. I'm most likely going to eat it in this one.
Oh, so they were talking specifically about this one to get into the vibe of the movie, I guess.
Just fans, yeah, overzealous fans. Just like you can't make any noise, and it's like, well, I wouldn't make any noise in any other movie. So that's the level I'm going to keep it to. But yeah, the young married couple who brought their baby and their stroller to the theater. I'm so happy your kid was so well behaved, but it felt super weird that you brought a baby to even if like this movie gets loud. It's supposed to be all quiet. It gets loud. Like
even kids movies.
You left your stroller literally in the walkway. Like people have to walk around your baby's stroller to get to their seat. It's not in the aisle. It's I don't know what the fuck that was, and I hope hair grows on your teeth.
Yeah, because just get a babysitter.
Just get it, or wait. Yeah.
Yeah, get a babysitter, and if you can't afford a babysitter, then you don't get to see the movie. That's unfortunately you made your life choice. Deal with it.
I should not be killed in a theater fire because your pullout game is whack, son. Okay, that's your soundbite for the show, Mike.
Yeah, clip that.
And then the jabroni, he thought he was going to get a video for the gram. Fuck you and your mother. All right, that's all I got to say about that.
Fuck you and your mother.
And your mother.
In that order.
In that order. Like it's like you. It's a vid. Why would you take video? It's again. Forget what movie it is. Like that screen is bright, son. It's not okay. These are theater sins. You were committing heinous acts.
As fuck, what is his name? The comedian who talked about babies at the theater. That's gonna annoy me now. But yeah, he's like, yeah, some people suck. That's it.
Some people do suck.
Some people suck. Speaking of movies, we could segue into your second topic of this evening.
Oh man. Are you a fan of The Highlander or its TV series or film series or
its 7 sequels?
It's only got 5 movies.
I liked the first one, and I must admit I don't think I ever witnessed any of the sequels. But I remember watching the first one with, again, I'm terrible with names, but I remember obviously Sean Connery.
Mm-hmm.
Never forget that.
Christopher Lambert. Or Lambert.
It sounds more classy if you say it with a French accent. Lambert.
I am Christopher Lambert.
And I have come to make love to your wife.
Oh my God. Christopher Lambert, don't make love to my wife, please.
That hair he had in that movie, he would have done it to anyone.
It's good. He's got good 80s hair in that movie.
Great.
Well, they've been working on doing a reboot of the saga, and I haven't cared about that, but it's like your Masters of the Universe movie, like your Thundercats movie. It's been in development hell for years, to the point where like when an update gets made, I'm like, who cares? Like, I don't want to hear anything before you have a trailer ready at this point. Shut up. But some interesting news has come in though, Mike.
Ooh.
Henry Cavill, the guy who plays Superman or played Superman, who knows, TBD. He's somehow involved now in this new reboot, and I think that's pretty exciting. I don't know. What do you think about Cavill in the Highlander? Maybe not necessarily the Highlander, but in the Highlander.
I don't know. It depends which Henry Cavill, whatever, turns up. I wasn't a super huge fan of him in Superman, but I thought he was very good in Enola Holmes. I thought he did very well in that. So it depends. I could definitely see him in this role though. Obviously, from what I did see, they obviously don't know whether he's going to reprise a role that was previously in the Highlander, or if they're going to make a new character for him, or whatever it might be. But judging,
all logic dictates that they're going to just try and remake the saga of Connor MacLeod, and I think that would be a mistake. Yeah, obviously, a movie named Highlander should have a Scotsman in it, but change the name, make it a new persona, make it a different origin, but don't try and remake something that was just already fine.
No, I mean, because something for that, like that, you could easily just create a new character, call it something different, and just have it like in the Highlander universe or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be a reboot. Like, that's what, not only just this, but it's just been, I mean, for the past, for a while now, but for the past 10 years, it's been a lot more prevalent, where it's just laziness, where everyone just wants to reboot everything and try it again. Like, for example, Mr. Cavill, like Superman and Batman have been rebooted about 5 times now.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to continue to get rebooted. So we've got a new Batman on the horizon. That actually looks exciting. And then rumors of a new Superman that actually might go parallel with the current Cavill Superman. Everything's in speculation, so I don't want to get into all that.
Was that the Black Superman?
There's heavy talks about Black Superman. Yeah,
because that would work. Because at least then it's like a alternate dimension, right?
He's an alien. He's not a Caucasian. Like, Superman just happens to look like a white guy, but he is not you or I, dude. It's a bloody miracle that his junk is where our junk is. Okay, the fact that his anatomy is the same is just a very fantastic coincidence. And Superman could be anybody that escaped Krypton. My biggest complaint about that is everyone seems to assume Michael B. Jordan is going to be the new Superman, and while I would be happy with that, I don't think he wants that job. I think he got exhausted from the bullshit he had to deal with Black Panther and doesn't want any more of that nonsense. I think he wants to try and just focus on the next Creed sequel and then other stuff, lots of other stuff.
He was very good in Black Panther, though. He was
great in Black Panther, but he had to deal with just all that toxic fan bullshit on top of it. Like, he'd be doing press junkets for an ordinary movie, and sure enough, they'd have to keep talking about Killmonger and Black Panther to the point where it's just like, yo,
he's dead. Move on.
Yeah, thank you. He's not coming back. Whatever.
Spoiler alert. Jesus, I'm ruining so many movies right now.
Well, to be fair to Black Panther, it made over $1 billion, so I'm going to assume that most people saw it.
Yeah, if you was gonna see it, you'd have seen it by now. And if you haven't, then it's your fault.
Exactly. See, that's my attitude on it. If we are going to talk about the Connor MacLeod, I almost said the Conor McGregor, the Connor MacLeod legacy, and they are going to just stay in that little box. I did talk about this on the newest Microdose that comes out this Friday, but I would like to see Henry Cavill play the Kurgan. I would like him to play the villain. The ultimate badass. Like, we saw him play a great heel in Mission Impossible 5. Like, he is scary, dude, especially when he does that arm cock bullshit in the bathroom. Like, I'm like, oh no, I've never been so terrified for a villain in my life. I'm like, this poor Asian gentleman is about to get murdered.
That's the movie he had the questionable mustache. Is that?
Yes, the mustache that conflicted with Justice League reshoots.
That was so bad. That movie
It
was
so dumb.
Cursed. But also, I saw rumors that even Mr. Ryan Reynolds was linked to the Highlander reboot. I don't know if he's ever going to, but I think his name was
stays
bandied
in a
about.
producer role. Ryan Reynolds can actually act. It's not very known these days, but Ryan Reynolds can actually act. However, he's making so much money off of just being Ryan Reynolds in his movies. Like I don't blame him for not changing the game, but I don't want to see Ryan Reynolds in the next Highlander.
That's why he was so good in Deadpool, because Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds. Almost.
He's apparently like a big fanboy of the Deadpool
Oh,
character.
he's a huge fan. Like he was the reason, because he was making that movie by himself for several years before the footage somewhere got leaked by someone that he doesn't know that was probably definitely him. And then
can you imagine Ryan Reynolds had to like find an internet cafe or like a FedEx like depot and just he had to upload it with a thumb drive and all that shit just to stay off a W or
the thumb drive like with a notepad or newspaper covering it so no one can see what he's doing.
So much goddamn cloak and dagger bullshit went into getting that trailer uploaded.
But yeah, good for him. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely see. I don't think I would like to see him in Highlander, because then he would have to stop being Ryan Reynolds as Ryan Reynolds in a movie.
And to be fair to Ryan Reynolds, he probably was saying, "No, you should let me try and be this character." And the producer's like, "No, baby, we want you to be you. We want you to just wing it. Okay, fuck the script. Just go off cuff, man. You do it.
We paid for Ryan Reynolds, motherfucker. Be Ryan Reynolds."
Yeah, we paid you $35 million to be you. You've got the greatest job ever. It would totally go down like that. Oh,
with those exact voices.
Probably with those exact voices.
So that's movies covered. So where should we go next? Where would you want to go next? Do you want to
tell me about this Canadian beaver? I know you sent me the link. I blanked on it. I did look at it for a second, but that was like 5 days ago.
So I love this story. Just not for I guess for the face of it, but also it's a very deep story. So basically, there's a town in British Columbia called Tumbler Ridge, which definitely sounds like a place that's gonna get screwed over by the Beavers. But apparently, in the middle of the night, their internet just crashes, goes down. And so they investigate and they find out that, well, in the article it says that the cabling was found in the Beavers' home, which makes it sound like the Beavers stole it. But what I'm sure just happened was that they put the cables in and Beaver built a home around it. Anyway, so this cabling, 3 feet below the ground, covered by like 4.5-inch thick conduit. The Beaver just like, nah, son, I'm going to live here now, and just chewed through it. And the whole town lost the internet for like 12 hours.
Okay.
Which I think is hilarious just on the face of it. Beavers shut down a town for the internet. But on a deeper level, when you think like human beings are supposed to be like the be all end all, top of the food chain, we are the smartest animals on this planet. But you know how dependent we are now of the internet. I bet those were the worst 12 hours of that town's life.
Yeah, and definitely. Some bills definitely didn't get paid. Some penalties were issued.
All it took was some beavers and their inquisitive teeth.
Hey, houses can be destroyed by just a couple rats. People have tried to draw their kids a bath and snakes have come out of it. Like, the world is crazy, man. You can't prepare for half of this shit. Do you know if they found the beaver? Like, did the beaver survive chewing through the Wi-Fi, or did it get fried?
It doesn't mention any bodies being found, so I guess they were okay. But there's a guy who's sort of further reading into this article. So there's a a town called. So this is in Quebec. So this is a French town. So
Okay.
pardon my French and pardon my pronunciation, but the town called Grenville-sur-la-Rouge. If I'm pronouncing that correctly.
That sounded good.
So they blamed the Beavers for extensive flooding, which damaged property and infrastructure.
The Beavers caused flooding.
Apparently, so roughly, it says here, roughly 800 beavers had created some 200 dams around the town, and Mayor Tom Arnold said more flexibility was needed to manage the rodents. It's a problem that we have to get rid of. The beavers have to be eradicated. This guy is feuding with beavers. Like, for one, why is like the town Grenville-sur-la-Rouge in Quebec, Canada, why is the mayor's name Tom Arnold? His name sounds like a cocktail. Like, that's not a very like, I want like my mayor of Grenville-sur-la-Rouge to be like Jacques Cousteau or something like that. Not Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold, not this gentleman you're referring to, but there's an actual comedian who used to be married to Roseanne Barr named Tom Arnold. He was in True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was the sidekick.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. What else?
Tom Arnold.
What else has he been in?
He used to be a heavy part of the Best Damn Sports Show. That was Fox's biggest show, and then they just went like, yeah, we don't like this anymore. Canceled. The Stupids. That's a movie he did.
Googling it. He was, because I have a certain movie in my. Oh yes. He was in Austin Powers, the first Austin Powers. He was in the bathroom.
How about a courtesy flush, buddy?
Yeah. You tell that turd who's boss. Who does number two work for?
Who does number two work for?
That's the only thing I remember him from.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Bless him. And
well,
now,
so definitely a coincidental name.
Unless he's taken a break from acting and he's now the mayor of Grenville-sur-la-Rouge and he hates beavers.
I'm sure he would like to keep being an actor, but he's actually a columnist, I want to say, with the New York Times or the Washington Post. I could be wrong on both of those, but there's a newspaper on the East Coast that Tom Arnold is a correspondent for, the actor.
Interesting.
Yeah. The mayor, however, he seems to have an infestation problem. I don't know what Canada is like. I'm sure our little friend, the Vampire Dark, could tell us some stuff. But yeah, I wonder what they're doing about a beaver infestation. Like, how do you, like, I have raccoons, possums, and skunks running all up and down my neighborhood here, but it's not enough that we need to like start bringing firearms into the equation.
Well, not to be too peace and love and hippie-ish, but technically there's not a beaver infestation. The beavers were there, man. It's a human infestation. Okay. They need to get rid of us.
I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Peace and love, man. Why can't we all get along?
Well, this town in Quebec has probably been around for like 80 plus years, I would imagine. Maybe longer.
Well, speaking of Tom Arnold, who may or may not be the mayor of Grenville-sur-la-Rouge, his sister, who used to be a meth dealer in the Midwest. And there's
well, they're from Iowa. That's not surprising.
And there's a documentary miniseries about her called The Queen of Meth.
Wow, that's quite a title.
It's on Discovery Plus, which means I'm not going to see it because I've given up adding to my catalog of streaming services now.
I agree.
I'll just wait for it to. I'll just find it online somewhere, I'm sure.
Well, and not only will you find it online in a few months, but in like a year, 18 months, 24 months down the road, like there will be just cable packages again, but for Wi-Fi apps, Now we got Warner Brothers Discovery That's a thing again, or a thing now, I should say. You know what I'm talking about, Mike?
I'm aware of the words you just said.
The Discovery Channel just purchased Warner Brothers after AT&T sold it to them. Is what I should add that to.
So does that mean there's going to be finally a documentary on Discovery Channel based around the Animaniacs?
If they want to do a crossover advertisement promo, yes. I don't see why there wouldn't be. Animaniacs has actually got a new series on Hulu right now, if you didn't know that.
I think I've watched like the first 5 episodes. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's only okay. But I'm also in my 40s, so I shouldn't be getting all stoked about cartoons anymore.
You're only as young as you feel.
I mean, I still feel like I'm 25, but now I'm just like another cartoon. All right, whatever. Nothing special here.
No, see, I'm 35, and they say you're only as old as you feel, and I feel like 36, so that doesn't really help.
That sucks, man. Why do you feel older than you are?
Because every day I have to look in the mirror and see this 5 head and my receding hairline. You can't get away with feeling 21 with a hairline like this.
I've got worse than your hairline, and I've had it for a long time. That's a big reason why we shave the dome. Okay,
yeah, exactly. So yeah, but you shave it so that you can pull it off as if to say this is a life choice.
Well, it is a life choice. However,
this is just nature. You could say you shave you could just blag
I've tried to grow it back. That's why I know it's not a good look, man.
Do you look like Hulk Hogan?
Worse.
Worse than Hulk Hogan?
Well, Hulk Hogan's hair is at least long. My shit takes forever to grow. Like I got very tight hair. Okay.
Wow. So do you look like a balding Justin Timberlake?
Time out here. I'll show you what I look like with hair in 1998. Stand by.
Oh, we're gonna go through a time machine now. And for those listening on the podcast version, I'm going to describe this photo that he's about to show me.
Oh, it's glorious. This is me, New Year's Eve, 1998, 1999. I had a 104-degree fever this night, so I didn't go out. But my buddy had a camera and decided, well, might as well take a picture of that.
Jesus. He looks like if, okay, again, for those listening, he looks like if the Joker and Carrot Top had a baby.
And fuck you again. My hair is way better than Carrot Top's. Fuck you.
Well,
don't make me say anything meaner.
It's an extra late version. X-rated, R-rated version. Speaking of R rating, let's get on to our final topic of this evening. Mr. William Amos.
Yeah, god damn it, guys. So again, you sent me a link. I skimmed it and then I forgot about it. But this dude was on a Zoom call and then decided to take a piss.
Yeah.
Somehow still on camera.
Well, okay, so yes, so he took a piss basically in a work meeting whilst he was, but not only was he urinating whilst on this video call, he was urinating completely naked on this Zoom call with colleagues.
What?
And
how is he's fully naked on the Zoom call?
Yep. And
Guys,
so what he said was it was an accident, obviously. So what happened was that he accidentally turned on his video whilst he was changing into work clothes after going for a jog.
No.
Like anyone, see that excuse might work if no one in the world ever in the last year had to use Zoom. Like that doesn't happen. You can't just accidentally do that. So okay, But
you get undressed and then you get dressed and then you start Zoom in that order, okay?
yeah, and then, but even if you always say, oh, what, first time offense. If it's an accident, it's an accident. It wouldn't be an accident because back in April he did it again, basically.
What?
Oh no! Wait. Okay, no, sorry. Wait. Sorry. No, in April, April was the time that he accidentally turned on the camera while he was changing clothes after going for a jog. This time he was, I guess maybe he was fully clothed, but he was still just urinating. Whilst
So this dude, this is a thing. This is officially a thing that this
yeah,
guy does. He's an exhibitionist. He likes showing off. Does the article mention, like, is the dude hung? Should people be looking at him
should
naked?
he be proud of doing this?
Should he be proud of doing this? Yes, that is an excellent question, Michael.
So it doesn't.
I don't know why it would, but like, these are the questions.
Especially, I'm looking at the article I'm reading is on BBC, and I can't imagine the BBC would be like, and editors
yes,
know
he was quite hung.
This guy was hung like a horse,
like a Clydesdale.
Like when you see this guy's penis, you won't blame him. But
with much respect.
But it does say, like, so he says one, it was unacceptable but accidental.
Fuck.
So it's so much of an accident that he is later added that he is now stepping away from his duties to seek assistance, quote unquote.
Yeah, get out of that shit quickly, dude. Oof, before you get fired. That is.
I'm shocked he hasn't been fired after the first time.
I mean, they were going to do it, and they let him give his resignation. They were absolutely going to fire him for this bullshit.
Well, so he is a member of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party, and he said he would temporarily step away from his duties whilst continuing to represent his constituency.
Who's got a better record? Who's got a worse record right now? Justin Trudeau for a college blackface photo that, I don't know, was it let's be liberal, 15 years ago.
Right.
Or this dude who pissed on Zoom a week and a half ago. Who's got it worse?
I would say,
I mean, Trudeau's still in charge, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd say
he's probably
if I had to judge them both, they're probably on a even playing field, because I guess, like, so obviously if you're looking at it like for like, apples to apples, oranges to oranges, obviously the whole blackface incident is way worse, I would say.
Should be.
But
right?
Then you have that
Maybe?
argument. Then you have that argument. Okay, well, I guess you could, if he hasn't done it since, I don't know. If it was just an idiot.
That's his Sunday ritual, man. He spends an hour in blackface every week.
If it was a stupid thing he did when he was young.
Trudeau is French for I spend Sundays in blackface.
Whilst watching his Morgan Freeman marathon. I love this guy. But yeah, that was a long time ago. So I guess so that kind of weight lightens it up a little bit. So then the naked pissing on the Zoom call this week, you kind of, but it's just you can't get away with that twice.
Look, man, I was back in March. I was involved in a
what did you do on a Zoom
plus
call?
Hour movie marathon where through this laptop we're talking through, I watched 30 hours of found footage films. Okay, short films, long films, everything. 30 hours worth. I took a nap for 5 hours. I always throw that out there. But I had 3 different cameras. Okay, I had this camera that we're looking at right now. I had a laptop camera going. I had a Ring camera going. And at one point, if you can't see it, but literally in this angle here is my bathroom. And a few times I would have to use the bathroom. And you know what? There's a door. It closes very easily. Like I don't make a lot of money. I made very little money in 2020, just to be quite frank. And no one saw my dick. And I have nothing to be ashamed of, but no one saw me exposed. It's this dude wanted to be seen. He wanted to sabotage his life. That shit is just insane to me.
How sad is that? No, in 2021 we have to like
Again,
almost
yeah.
like pat ourselves on the back. I have never indecently exposed myself on a Zoom call. Well done, me.
Yeah. Well, not on a Zoom call. You haven't. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Again, it is 2021, man. Cameras are everywhere. Like, I keep telling people about my Alexa device. And like, oh no, Alexa's always listening to us. I'm like, no. Your cell phone is listening to you, and your laptop is listening to you. Your PlayStation is listening to you. I do podcasts and other audio recording, so I have all sorts of shit listening to me. But you know what I do when I get a new device? I immediately tape off the camera.
Oh, you're one of those.
Call me paranoid. I'm okay with that. But you know
Because I'm
what's
always
not
like,
going to happen? No one's going to see my dick that I don't want to see my dick.
what are you trying to hide? What are you trying to hide?
Probably my dick. And
Actually,
the shame
to
that
be
is
fair,
behind this green screen here.
if I'm unaware that the camera's on, like I've turned the camera off, and someone wants to hack in and see my junk, then that's on them.
They've earned that right.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, and in most circumstances you would be correct. But this one, I'm gonna keep that from all of y'all. You'll have to go to my OnlyFans account for that.
If they want to see the helicopter show, then the helicopters.
Well, you
going in
Europeans
for
are a
landing.
little more liberal about that, and I'm sorry, the UK is not a part of Europe anymore, but you guys are a little more free about that. Like we've got our pride that we gotta be shameful up front, and then be hella nasty behind the doors.
So when's Americans been shy? That's not a
You know,
stereotype.
since the 21st century started, yeah, people have actually been a lot more open. But there was a lot of conservative shit happening sexually for a long time
Maybe it's
in
just
the
the ones
United
that
States of America.
maybe it's just the ones that don't travel. Because whenever I've met Americans in England that are tourists, they are not shy at all.
That's also a syndrome of I'm on vacation. No one's gonna know who I was in 3 weeks. It'll be okay. I can be not myself out here, and that's a big problem. More Americans should definitely not be doing that. Most people should not be doing that. So I get it.
In conclusion, get dressed before you start your Zoom calls for work.
That's good advice.
Do not leave any important cables in a beaver's house. If you want to reboot a franchise, get Henry Cavill involved. He loves it. And the final one is don't take your babies to the movie theaters. That's
Powerful.
what we've learned today, and we probably haven't learned anything today, but if we did, I think that's what we can take away from this. Would you agree?
I feel good about that.
Good. We've grown as humans today, I think.
I hope so.
See,
for the best, for the better. I hope.
Waffle Box is it's not just entertaining; it's educational. We're changing the world.
Informative. There you go. Local by choice, international by nature.
Pow. That'll be on a T-shirt next week.
All
right. Well, I guess we could wrap this up. I don't think we can. It's going to be downhill from here. So if you want to follow me on social media, I am Mr. Mike Fish, Mr. Mike Fish, on Twitter, Instagram, and how can they find you, Mr. Kush?
I'm on Twitter at Kush_Hayes. I also do movie reviews like a Quiet Place Part 2 you can find at thebosnet.family. Also, while you're there, check out the Microdose. That drops every Friday at noon California time.
And I was a guest on that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, man. It was a good time too, dude.
If you're not sick of us and you want to hear more of us two talking to each other, check that out.
Yeah, you've been on that of three or 4 times now.
3 times.
Only 3? Okay, we'll get you on the 4th time too.
Twice by myself and once with Alex. who I also do another podcast with, Claret and Big Blue, live every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. The only podcast on the internet dedicated to West Ham United and the New York Giants. That's right, football and football balls for everyone's tastes. And then, so we're going to be back, I guess, in your inbox and where you listen to podcasts. It's going to come to you live, not live, but it's going to drop every Wednesday at 12 o'clock Eastern. Anything else you want to plug, Kush?
I'm super stoked that the Giants are in first place. The Padres are only half a game behind us, but fingers crossed, we're going to keep this momentum going forward and fuck the Dodgers.
Fuck those Dodgers.
I feel good about that.
Shoot me all. See you next week.